Okay, I need to be honest about something that happened to me last night, and I am a little embarrassed about it because I know better. I literally know better, and I still could not stop myself.
No judgment here. What happened?
So my college roommate posted on Instagram new house, beautiful kitchen, her husband, her 2 kids, her golden retriever, all standing in front of this gorgeous front door with a sold sign, and I know, it is curated. I know she probably took 40 photos to get that one. I know her life is not perfect, but something in my brain just broke.
Broke how?
I spent 2 hours scrolling, 2 hours, first her feed, then her husband's feed, then our other college friends' feeds. Then strangers' feeds, and every single post made me feel worse, like everyone figured out the formula for life except me. Like I chose wrong somewhere, and now I am just watching everyone else win from the sidelines. I went to bed at 1:30 in the morning, feeling like a complete failure over Instagram photos. And the worst part? I have tried everything. I have unfollowed people. I have set screen time limits. I deleted the app for 2 weeks once, and I always come back always. It is like the problem is not the app. It is something inside me that the app just activates.
You know what? You just said something really important and I do not want it to slip by. You said the problem is not the app. You are right. The problem is not Instagram. Instagram is just the delivery mechanism. It is the syringe. Not the drug. The drug is something much older, and about 2,000 years ago, a former slave turned philosopher gave it a name. He called it the first discipline a Stoic must master.
Wait, a former slave?
Epictetus, born into slavery in the Roman Empire. His master once twisted his leg so badly it was permanently crippled. He had no possessions, no status, no freedom for most of his early life, and after he was freed, he became one of the most influential philosophers in history. He opened a school in a small town called Nicopolis in Greece, and wealthy young Romans traveled from across the empire to study with him.
So a man who had nothing teaching the people who had everything.
Exactly. And the very first thing he taught them was what he called the discipline of desire. He said, the discipline of desire directs us to desire only what is in our power. That is from his Discourses. Book 3, Chapter 2. And it sounds simple, but Epictetus believed this was the most important thing a human being could learn. More important than logic, more important than ethics. If you do not master your desires first, nothing else works.
Desire only what is in your power. Okay, but how does that connect to me spiraling over Instagram at midnight?
Let me ask you something. When you were scrolling through your roommate's photos, what were you actually wanting? Not on the surface underneath.
I guess I wanted her life. No, that is not quite it. I wanted to feel like I was on the right path, like I had not fallen behind, like my choices were the right ones.
And is any of that within your control? Can you control whether your path looks like hers? Can you control whether your timeline matches someone else's timeline? Can you control whether your life photograph as well as hers does?
No, none of that is within my control.
And that is exactly what Epictetus would say is the root of your suffering. Not Instagram, not your roommate. Your desires are misaligned. You are wanting things that are outside your power, and that guarantees frustration. Every single time. And here is the thing. This is not a modern problem. Seneca, one of the wealthiest men in all of Rome, wrote about the exact same feeling. He watched other Romans with bigger villas, more political influence, more fame, and he felt it, the envy, the comparison, the sense that he was somehow not enough, despite having more than almost anyone alive.
Oh my God, Seneca had Instagram brain? In ancient Rome?
He absolutely did. The technology changes, the human wiring does not. And Seneca wrote one of the sharpest lines ever put on paper about this. He said, "It is not the man who has too little who is poor, but the one who hankers after more." That is from his letters. Letter 2. Think about that. Poverty is not about what you have, it is about what you want. If your wants are endless, you are poor. No matter how much you accumulate, if your wants are aligned with what you actually have, you are wealthy right now.
The one who hankers after more, woe so. When I am scrolling Instagram and feeling like I do not have enough, I am literally making myself poor, even though nothing about my actual life changed.
Nothing changed except your desires. Your roommate's post did not take anything from you. It did not change your apartment, your job, your relationships, your health. The only thing it changed was what you wanted, and that shift, that is what made you feel poor.
That is kind of terrifying, because it means the problem is inside me, not on a screen.
It is inside you, but here is the good news. That means the solution is also inside you, and Epictetus knew this. Let me tell you about his students. These were wealthy young Romans, sons of senators, sons of merchants. They came to his school in Nicopolis expecting philosophy to make them more successful, more persuasive, more powerful. And on the first day, Epictetus looked at them and said something that probably shocked every single one of them. He said, "You came here to learn how to want the right things. That is harder than anything you have ever done."
Wait, he did not teach them how to get what they wanted? He taught them how to want differently?
That is the entire discipline of desire in one sentence. Not wanting less. Wanting differently. There is a huge difference. Wanting less is deprivation. It is gritting your teeth and pretending you do not care. That never works. Wanting differently is a fundamental shift in what you value. It is moving your desires from things outside your control, like outcomes, recognition, other people's timelines, to things inside your control, like your character, your effort, your growth, your integrity.
Oh, that is why deleting Instagram never worked. I was removing the delivery mechanism, but I was not changing what I was hungry for.
Exactly. You can delete every app on your phone and you will still compare yourself to your neighbor, your coworker, your cousin at Thanksgiving dinner, because the issue was never the screen. The issue is that your desires are pointed at things you cannot control, and social media, well, it is essentially a desire manufacturing machine. It takes the natural human tendency to compare, and it puts it on a conveyor belt. It shows you curated highlights from thousands of lives, and it triggers the feeling that you are not enough. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
A desire manufacturing machine. That is exactly what it is. It does not just show you what other people have. It makes you want what they have. And Marcus Aurelius did not even have social media. And he still struggled with this, right?
He absolutely did. He wrote in his Meditations, Book 9, Section 40, about how easily we are distracted by what others have and what others think. He reminded himself to return to what is his own. Your own character, your own choices, your own path. Not because other paths are bad, but because obsessing over them steals the energy you need for yours.
Okay. So the Stoic answer is not to stop wanting things. It is to redirect what I want toward what I can actually control.
That is it. Want differently, not less. Desire your own growth instead of someone else's outcomes. Desire your own integrity instead of someone else's approval. Desire the kind of person you are becoming instead of the kind of life someone else is displaying, when your desires are aligned with what is within your power. Comparison loses its grip because you are no longer playing someone else's game.
You are no longer playing someone else's game. That is it. I have been keeping score in a game I did not even choose to play.
And you can stop anytime, but it takes practice. So let me give you something concrete, something you can do tonight.
Please, because I know I am going to open that app again. I need a tool.
I call it the desire inventory, and it works like this. Get a piece of paper, draw a line down the middle on the left side, write down 5 things you currently want. Be honest. The house, the relationship, the career milestone, whatever is pulling at you right now. Then for each one, answer 2 questions. First, is this entirely within my control? And second, if I never get this, can I still live a good life?
So I am mapping my wants against what I can actually control. What goes on the right side?
On the right side, write down 5 things you already have that you would miss terribly if they were gone tomorrow. Your health, a friend who actually listens, a job that pays your rent, a mind that is curious enough to spend time thinking about philosophy on a weekday evening, whatever is true for you.
Oh, so I am building 2 lists, what I want and what I have.
And then you compare the 2 lists. That is where the magic happens, because almost every time, the left side is full of things outside your control, and the right side is full of things you have been completely ignoring. The discipline of desire is about shifting your energy from the left list to the right list, not by forcing gratitude, not by pretending you do not want things, but by genuinely recognizing that the things you already have are the things someone else is scrolling Instagram and wishing they had.
Oh my God, I am someone else's Instagram post. Someone out there is looking at my life and feeling the exact same way I felt looking at my roommates.
Almost certainly, and they are just as wrong about your life as you are about your roommates. That is the trap. Everyone is comparing their inside to everyone else's outside. You feel your own doubt, your own anxiety, your own messy kitchen, and you compare it to someone else's highlight reel. That is not a fair comparison. It never was, and no one wins that game.
Everyone is comparing their inside to everyone else's outside. Okay. So the desire inventory, is that a one-time thing? Or do I do this every time I catch myself spiraling?
You can, but I would start with doing it once, fully, on paper. Take your time with it, and then whenever you feel the comparison pull, you do not need the paper. You just ask yourself the 2 questions. Is this thing I am wanting within my control? And can I still live a good life without it? Those 2 questions are the discipline of desire in action. Epictetus' students practice this every single day. It is a muscle. The more you use it, the faster it works.
And Seneca's line, it is not the man who has too little who is poor, but the one who hankers after more. That is basically the entire practice in one sentence.
It is, and I want to add one more thing. Gratitude is not a feeling, it is a discipline you practice. You do not wait to feel grateful. You train yourself to notice what you have, and the desire inventory is that training. It is not about toxic positivity or pretending everything is fine. It is about seeing clearly, which, if you remember, is what the Stoics called wisdom.
Gratitude is not a feeling, it is a discipline. That reframes everything. Because I have tried the whole write 3 things you are grateful for anything, and it always felt fake. But this is different. This is not about feelings. It is about where I point my attention.
Where you point your attention and where you point your desire, that is the whole game.
Hey, quick pause before we wrap up. If you are enjoying this conversation, take a second to hit the like button. It really helps more people find Stoic wisdom. And if you have not subscribed yet, now is a great time. We genuinely read every single comment, so let us know what you are thinking. Okay, back to it. I think I finally understand why deleting Instagram never worked. Let me capture this.
Go ahead.
Number 1. The discipline of desire is Epictetus's first and most fundamental discipline. Align your desires with what is within your power, and you eliminate the root cause of most emotional suffering. If you are wanting things you cannot control, you will be frustrated every single time. Number 2. Social media is a desire manufacturing machine. It triggers comparison by showing curated highlights, but the Stoics faced the same human tendency without Instagram. Seneca wrote about it from his Roman villa 2,000 years ago. The technology is new. The problem is ancient. Number 3. The Stoic reframe is not to want less, but to want differently. Desire what is within your power, your character, your effort, your growth, and hold loosely what is not, like outcomes, recognition, and other people's timelines. And number 4. Seneca's insight cuts through 2,000 years. It is not the man who has too little who is poor, but the one who hankers after more. Gratitude is not a feeling, it is a discipline you practice.
That was perfect. And Ruth, I want you to remember something, the fact that you caught yourself spiraling, the fact that you knew something was off. That is the discipline of desire already waking up in you. You are further along than you think.
I think I needed that, thank you.
Do the desire inventory tonight. 1 piece of paper, 2 columns, 5 wants, 5 haves, and see what you notice.
If this episode changed how you think about comparison and desire, follow Stoicism mentality wherever you are listening. We will see you in the next one.